friends, welcome to the fifth episode of FinWiz, the Fridays Fire Chats. And in the recent couple of weeks, we have been talking about the holistic development of children. And the last week, we had spoken about introducing the concept of money in the age group of 5 to 12. And today, we are looking forward to discuss how to introduce financial concepts to the teenagers. And we have with us today on our chat show, Mrs. Nivedita, a practicing advocate in the Madras High Court and a mother of two brilliant boys. Welcome, Nivedita, to our show.
Thank you, Subhash. Hi, Subhash. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks a lot.
It was a great idea of introducing finance to kids. Actually, I was amazed reading all the comments and all your topic details and everything. But today, it is actually a very hectic topic of introducing finance to teenage kids, right? What do you think about this, Subhash?
See, teenage is a very beautiful age. In fact, a lot of them think it is a troublesome age. But if you actually look
Yes.
at, this is a prime age where their absorption capacity is very high. Their thinking, logical reasoning, everything is developing predominantly at this particular age. And typically what happens is, they are at an age wherein, though for us as parents, they are kids, they think that they are adults and they want us also
Yes.
to treat them like one.
Yes,
And
exactly.
money is a wonderful concept where at this age, if we probably tune them in the right manner, they will really develop fantastic relationship with money. To start with, okay, see, as I said, they would want us to treat them like adults. Okay. One of the most
Yes.
important things that happens in a family is on a regular basis, we spend money. Yeah. So to start with, if we can involve our children, especially when they come to a teenage, we should discuss with them on our spending pattern, for which probably we would start with having a proper budget plan, involve our kids and understanding them. Where are the various expenses that we are incurring in the family? What is it that we are spending towards groceries or provisions, or maybe buying fruits, vegetables, milk, and maybe various utilities that we probably use like electricity or water, or if we can bucket them across different kinds of expenses and also have a budget for each of this head of expenses. This is an exercise where I believe if we can expose them, involve them in this activity, they will start understanding what it is to probably have this kind of a lifestyle and how important it is that probably we as parents are also working hard to ensure that we provide this kind of a lifestyle to the family.
Yes.
And to involve them, what I would believe is you should allow this exercise to be done by them in the sense budgeting, though you might spearhead the discussion, recording these expenses on a regular basis. See how regular it is, I would leave it between you and your children on what is convenient mode. But I believe at least once in a week, we should document and record these expenses. How much against each head of expense that we have incurred in this particular week. If it can be done on a daily basis, nothing like it. That is fantastic. And how are we spending on these? Meaning, are we making payments through cash mode or through UPI or any such payment gateways or even through credit cards? Like, for example, we might have certain expenses like insurance payments where you don't need to go to the office. You can make it online. So either you use a net banking or you use a credit card. What they have to understand is there are some different kinds of payment gateways or payment modes that is possible. And especially when you're talking about credit cards, they should understand that credit card is a mode of making payment. It is not a mode of spending. Now, what I mean by this, the difference over here is that, let's say I don't have the money and I want to buy that particular article. I don't use a credit card to buy it because the credit card due date will come much later, maybe about 20 days or 50 days later, depending on when you are swiping and when you are, the payment due date is. But they should understand that only when you have the money you are spending, so that they don't get into this kind of a spending unnecessarily. This habit should never go to them. So if you probably expose them to this spending habit, okay, it is going to definitely help them understand how the family is being run.
Okay. Now, when you talk about this credit cards, I just want to know, what do you do when we get into some deficit of surplus finance while looking into the accounts of a family?
See, at the end of the day, when you have recorded what is your actuals vis-a-vis what is your budgeted. See, it is not possible that everybody follows to the T. If you have probably budgeted an expense of 50,000 this month, then you will exactly land up at 50,000. That is not always probably possible. There are days when we might have an expenses which is over exceeding 50,000. Some cases, it might also be within the budget. So they should understand that, okay, actual, the reality is not necessarily what is on paper. But most important is, why did the deviation happen? Okay. And how is it that probably we can reduce this deviations? When I'm talking about reducing these deviations, this is where probably we can sit and make them understand what is the difference between discretionary expenses and non-discretionary expenses. For example, let's say we are talking about dining out. Maybe as a family, we have a habit of going out for dinner, maybe once or twice a month. So this is discretionary or non-discretionary. And when you're talking about, okay, let's say this is the discretionary expense. If it is discretionary, then what have you budgeted? Let's say you have budgeted for one eating out, a family of 4, you talk about say 2,000 or 2,500. So are we staying within that? This is in our hands. It depends on where we are going, what we are ordering. There are some expenses which are non-discretionary. Maybe you are talking about paying a house rent. Okay, so that is non-discretionary. So if they understand how we can curtail that, you should involve them in the process of helping us get ideas or how we can curtail these discretionary expenses. Believe me, they are very smart. Okay, they will find a way. Like I'll give you one example. One month when my daughter was asking my wife that do we have surplus this month? No, the reason she was asking is it okay that we can have one more dining out this month? If so, or maybe we can order in Swiggy. If you're not going out, maybe we can order in Swiggy or Zomato. So she wanted to know to what extent we can probably order. Okay, so this kind of habit will definitely set in if they are very, very clear and involved in this exercise. And let's say if there are a deficit, you ask them ideas of how do you think we could have managed this more effectively? Or if there is a surplus, maybe because they are involved in this process, reward them. Okay, reward them some portion of the surplus. No, they will feel happy and they will get more involved in this entire activity. Now, what happens maybe is over a period of time, when they start doing this, when they start observing the expenses that are happening, they will also observe that over a period of time, these expenses are increasing. Okay, like there are some months, maybe the expenses, what you have put for provisions, groceries, though has been the same in the last 12 months, going ahead to the 13th month, it is over exceeding, it is shooting up. The reasons could be many. Okay, so if probably you make them understand why it is happening, inflation is one of the reasons. Okay, now what is inflation? So they should get exposed to these kind of concepts. In some months, maybe we are over exceeding because we would have had some extra expense coming in, like maybe a payment of an insurance premium for the vehicle, or maybe we are traveling for a vacation or a holiday. So how do you probably foresee this much in advance and take care of these kind of expenses? So this will bring in a habit in managing the finances appropriately for the family.
Okay, superb.
And maybe in fact, let me share with you, I've been doing this since my 11th standard when I started living in a hostel. Yeah, my father, the first day when I was going to a hostel, he gave me a small book and he told me this is how you start recording your expenses, whatever pocket money. He used to send me next amount of pocket money every month and I need to document. And whenever he used to come and visit, my parents used to visit me in the hostel, I need to show the book, okay, on how and where I have spent. Only then I'll be eligible going ahead for the pocket money for the next quarter.
That's great, Subhash. That's why you have some practical experience in this thing. That's why you give some practical points also to today's kids. I understand. Okay, now you have told that you have handled your expense, your pocket money and all those things right from childhood. How do you help kids with their pocket money? How do you help them handling their pocket money actually?
Okay, see, when it comes to pocket money, if you remember, I was talking about in a younger age, we can give them pocket money allowances based on certain habits that you want them to follow. We can put a chart and all that. Now they are on to the next stage. As teenagers, probably we can have a couple of different ideas, meaning you can have a pocket money rewarded to them based on certain activities. What do you mean by activities? For example, this happened in our family wherein my wife had told my daughter that every month we are actually having somebody who is coming and delivering milk at home. Okay. And for that, you need to have delivery charges given to the person who is delivering milk at home. So she said, if you are going to the shop every day, buying the milk that is required for the home and coming, whatever we are paying as delivery charges, I would give the same. Though it could be 50 or 100 rupees. No, you give the same to the child. Now the child has an activity-based earning happening over here. Okay. Or activities like maybe if you are having 100% attendance in the school, for no lame excuses, you take off, unless it is very serious medical reasons. But otherwise, if you have 100% attendance in the school, okay, then you are rewarded with a kind of incentive, if I can call it that way. And I know a friend of mine who has put his child in violin class. Okay, so what he does is, if his son plays violin for at least 1 hour a day, he translates to X number of points, and if this number of points is accumulated, then he will buy what is required for the violin class, maybe another set of violin or anything, any other accompaniments that is required. So if you practice and if you put in your hard labor, okay, then you are rewarded based on that. We can also have, like on the studies also, if you score 90 plus, I'm just giving as an example. If you score 90 plus, then you are rewarded X amount. Or if you score 95 plus, then you have a bonus. Okay. So there is a different way of mechanism there. You can have incentives and rewards attached with not only good habits, but also activities and performances and milestones. So what would happen is, when they start getting this kind of a pocket money, what you're doing with the family, you should start doing for them also. You should ask them to record their expenses. Some chota mota expenses, like they want to buy a pencil or a sharpener, or maybe they want to buy a samosa or a puff in a canteen and all that, they can use their pocket money. They need not ask us parents every day for these kind of expenses. You should tell them that you should be within your pocket money. And you should probably be careful in recording these expenses. At the end of the month, if you have recorded all the expenses right, and if the accounts are tallying perfectly well, okay, it is not important that they only come to 11th standard, take a commerce group and then learn about accounts. You can teach them small accounting techniques even at this age. So if they probably maintain their accounts properly, at the end of the month, you have a look at it, and then you reward them for maintaining this also in a very, very appropriate manner. And you can get them involved in the habit of, have you heard about BNPL, Nivit? BNPL?
No, Subhash. What is it actually?
Okay, this is basically all these lot of e-commerce websites and all, they promote this: buy now, pay later. Buy now, pay later. Meaning, typically, if you don't have the money to buy an item, you can buy it now and you can pay it in installments. Okay, this is something crazily going on in the market today. So rather, I would say we should not get them into this habit of BNPL. Rather, we should get them introduced to SNBL. What is SNBL? Yeah, save now and buy later. So you can tell your children that, let us say they want to buy something which is costing, say, 1,000 rupees. Okay, so you tell them that out of your pocket money every month, you keep aside the next amount of money. And if let us say you want to buy something which is worth 1,000, you accumulate 750 rupees. If you do that, 750 or 800, whatever, I will put in the extra 200 or 250, and then you can buy it. So this habit of buying only when you have accumulated money, you have saved money for it, that should set in at this particular age. Yes, it might not be instant gratification, it could be delayed gratification. That's okay. They should understand the benefits of delayed gratification.
Okay. Superb, Subhash, superb. Actually, thank you for getting into us to a careful analysis of getting kids, mainly the two teenage kids, into finance and everything. And spending money in that age is actually a very difficult concept, and teaching them in that arena is very difficult. Now,
thank you, Nivi, for that. And my dear viewers, what is your comments on whatever you have heard so far? Please do share your thoughts with us on the comment section. And if you like this video, please do go ahead and click the like button. And if you want to share these ideas with your friends, do click the share icon. And to consistently get updates on our FinWiz series videos, do subscribe to our channel.
How do we get them into investments and banking side, Subhash?
When it comes to the investment part,
can we invest for a minor in mutual funds or shares?
And mutual fund SIP also, the